Hey, welcome back. Welcome if it's your first time. My name is Ben, welcome to the stream, and today I'm working on my tabletop role-playing game, again, so that's good. Um, yeah, hope you all are having a good evening. Um, I will give a little bit of background, as usual, just in case you have not heard it before. Um, God, not a good time for my voice to stop working. That's bad, actually. Good start. Really good start. Um, fuck, what was I saying? Yeah, the RPG, the thing I'm doing. Um, yeah, so this is an RPG I've been working on with one of my friends for a couple of years now. It's in a good place, but there's a couple of things that need to be done to edit it, mostly edit it, um, in a couple of categories that need some work. Got a to-do list right here, which is not like comprehensive, but is the things that are currently on my radar to do in the system. It's an OSR system, which stands for Old School Renaissance, which just means that it is based on like the first, second edition of D&D, roughly. Um, so it's more like dungeon crawling focused, sort of high fatality kind of thing. Um, anyway, I like that kind of system. So obviously, so here we are. Today we are doing the thrilling task of working on tables, but not in the fun way, in the way which means I have to copy and paste a bunch of stuff to make them be a different format than they already are. So that's cool. Um, and the stream is like 70% to make me do that work, because it really does need to be done. Because the biggest problem with this RPG, honestly, is like the readability, because it's all in a Google Doc, which is like fine until the Google Doc gets too big, which this document is. So it's just kind of hard to read and navigate. And people need to be able to do that to play the game. So, anyway, what we are doing, I've got this convenient example here. So we're making the spells going from looking like this, which was initially a nice format for when the spells were in a Google Sheet, to looking like this, roughly, which is a more human readable format. So, yeah, that's what we're doing. I've already done 2 streams of this, so we've made quite a bit of progress. I'll just show you the magic user spell list. Look at this. Look at this. Just beautiful. Sexy numbered list of spells. And then this is what the spells kind of look like after I've done formatting them. I think they look better. I think it still needs some work. Specifically, once I'm done, I'd like to try making this like 2-column instead of the 1-column that it is right now, because I feel like it looks a little weird like this, but it's better. So anyway, we made it through all 107 magic user spells, and last time we made it through 45, which is half of the necromancer spells. So that's cool, and that's where we are. And so we have 45 more necromancer spells to do. And then after that, it's just like 60, I think, cleric spells. And then we'll be done with this task. So, thank God. It's not that bad. It's just kind of drudgery. But that's why I'm streaming it, so I can be entertained while doing it. Yeah, so that's where we're gonna start. I am gonna play music as I have for the past couple of times, and I'm just gonna hang out and edit tables. And oh, I forgot to turn on my scrolling question at the top of the screen. That was cool. I like that. No one's like acknowledged it yet, but I thought that was a cool thing we had going on. That's fine. I was just gonna say, if you have any questions about the spells that I'm working on, any of the comments that I make, or anything about how the system works, or you just want to talk about TTRPGs in general, please say something and I will talk to you, and it will be a welcome distraction from this. Okay, that's all. That's my opening bit. So I'm going to start playing the music, and I will try and remember how to do this. And our goal, again, is to finish all of the spells this time. Rest of the Necromancer spells and the Cleric spells, and we're going to do our best. So, let's go. I don't want the music to be that loud right now. Yeah. Oh, I wonder... Isn't all... Okay. I made it too quiet, I think. Because it was not showing up on the mixer at all. Okay, cool. Whoa. And once again, this will not show up in the VOD, so if anyone watches the VOD, it'll be funny to just watch me sit in silence. Anyway, if anyone is listening, and the audio is weird, let me know and I'll change it. Okay, anyway. Why? What is going on? Okay. Okay, we're good. Anyway. Cool. So, just remembering how to do this. I don't remember. I felt like we had a good thing going last time as to the rhythm of this copying and pasting. I don't remember exactly what we were doing. I think I was just copying and pasting like this whole line of things here, and then just replacing the things that need to be replaced. That was more efficient because I didn't have to like bold all the things every time, which is a lot of clicking back and forth. And we're also doing a little bit of editing as we go to try and make things more standardized where possible, and less awful where possible. Trying not to spend too much time balancing, because that takes a long time. Knowledge of life. I do not remember what the spell does. Just reading it. Oh, okay. It's like Speak with Dead. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, like, I don't know how I feel about N over 3 rounds. I feel like the division is usually a bad thing. I prefer to go with multiplication when possible. I think it's just easier to read. Unfortunately, I'm not sure a better way to say N over 3 rounds. We can add a round up, and hopefully that will be clarifying. Okay, we don't have space between this. Cool. Ah, Living on the Edge. This is a spell that I just took from Divinity Original Sin, because I thought it would be cool. need to bin the original sim players. No, the comment is fine. This needs to be edited, but we'll do that in a second. Okay, let's take a look at this duration. Duration, end rounds, distributed between targets, maximum of 4 per target. I feel like this information, like what I'm trying to say here, I think comes across, though it's a little clunky. I think that would be better put in the spell's description, and then something more concise should be in like the duration header. Something like, I should say Necromancer, because we're on the Necromancer spell list. The Necromancer can divide up the rounds to any... I wonder if this... let me just write this and we'll see if it's clear. The Necromancer can divide up the rounds to any number of valid targets with the spell not able to last more than 4 rounds on any one target. The Necromancer can cast this spell on multiple targets by dividing... this is truly how you write RPGs, or things in general, is you just gotta kind of freestyle and then figure it out. Necromancer can cast spell on multiple targets by dividing... distributing duration and 4. For this spell's duration, the targets cannot drop below 1 hit point. The Necromancer can cast the spell on multiple targets by distributing the rounds of duration, with each target receiving a minimum 1 round of duration and a maximum 4. That's not really very good. The Necromancer can cast the spell on multiple targets by distributing bad start. By distributing... bad start. I already can't speak. might be a better word than distributing. Necromancer can cast the spell on multiple targets by splitting the rounds of the duration between them. A target can only have the effect of the spell for 4 rounds at maximum. Okay, I think that's pretty readable. Cool. This is why we try to avoid editing. Okay, anyway. Oh, also this spell. I gotta remember to do the channeled concentration thing. Okay, that column is concentration, so this one is channeled. Cool. Okay. Continuing. Natural, not channeled or concentration. This is a funny spell, I like it. Embalming fluid. Vial of blood. No more than a weak bolt. Let me just remind myself what it does. All blood will sink to the lower extremities, causing them to turn purplish-blue. Weapons that do not have the smashy type will only do half damage to the recipient, and attacks or magic that would normally cause bleeding will not do so. Yeah. Pretty good. Basically protection from normal weapons. So that's cool. Magic Jar. Ugh! A spell that I am not going to reread right now. This is one of the... It's definitely not the longest spell in this list in terms of description, but it's one of the ones I like rereading the least. That's for sure. Whenever you see a big block of text like that, it's just like... Ugh. Which isn't great, but like, I don't know. Cool, we'll just move right along. Hey, Magic Sword. This is my example in the to-do list. I'll do it again manually. Love when the components get, like, edgy. Thank you for your chat, Voracious, but I am not interested in that. I'm not sure exactly where the roundup is necessary to write. think I was thinking about like this wording for this actually, thinking about this which would make this other one, when I was struggling with n over 3. 1 round per 3n, that's not quite right though. Because it goes up at 4, so we 1 round per 4n? I don't know. I'll deal with this later. I don't want to think about it right now. That's runnable. Anyway, I was gonna say, I really like when the components get like edgy anime like this. 2 red flowers, come on. Why did not change the range? As I said when we saw this spell in the magic user spell list, this spell is fucking crazy. Maze. This is basically just a stun. So I'm reading these components, I'm wondering if the components are too little. Because rope and iron chain are not very difficult components. I don't think I'm going to change it right now, because I've already nerfed Maze a lot. But I should do another playtest at some point and try it. Just reading the round duration again. Yeah, like 1d4 rounds of Maze for that. It's kind of pretty good. Admittedly, it's touch range, which helps with the balance a lot. Alright, negative plane shield. This is such a cool spell too. Most things on the Necromancer spell is slap. Just skimming this spell so I remember what it does. It's been a while since no one plays Necromancer in my games. Sag. Yeah, this like destroys weapons and drains magic weapons of their power briefly. Cool spell. Oh, Portent Doom. Sorry, I shouldn't just say cool spell for every single spell on the list. I was about to do it again. This is a cool spell though. Oh, this isn't the spell I thought it was. Okay, well, it's still a cool spell. This is the one... Yeah, where you can curse people to be attacked by demons for the next, like, couple days. It's It's pretty fucking awesome. That's why it's so expensive. I was like, that cost is like kind of a lot, isn't it? Because like I remember writing this cost. Like I was like, okay, surely don't make me write n squared. There's no way I need to write n squared in these rules, please. So I went with 100 and n instead, which is n squared, but looks a little less scary. Um, but yeah, it's because it's the hit die of the demons that attack the target every day. So yeah, n is 1, 100, n is 2, 400, n is 10, 10,000. So that's pretty reasonable. I think I did like a graph for it at some point. I mean, not that it's like a very hard thing to like chart out, but yeah. Number-wise, we're doing pretty good. We're on 55. We've already done 10. That was pretty good. I wasn't even thinking about it, to be honest. That was good. Natural. To end days. This one I think is pretty straightforward. This spell. Anyway, I was talking about Divinity Original Sin because of that spell, and I got to play the board game yesterday for the first time, the tutorial, and that was extremely cool. I've been looking forward to that for a really long time, and it was awesome, and I'm really looking forward to playing it again. Good video game. Duration instant. I think that's right for what we were trying to say. I want to find another example. I'm pretty sure that's the right word, though. Yeah, like an inflict poison here. I don't even remember what putrefy poison does. Oh, okay. Makes poison worse. Cool. Yeah, that makes sense. Good necromancer spell. This spell is important. Raise Dead. Because this is the spell that all necromancers get. Because, well, originally when I was making the necromancer class, like, it was just like the necromancer spell list, and like, you could roll, like, the spells are random, right? But pretty quickly I was like, this is not the correct necromancer fantasy, in that like only like 5% of necromancers at level 1 have the ability to raise the dead, because you'd have to randomly roll the spell otherwise. Anyway, that's like a pretty obvious thing to do, but I just thought it was funny. So yeah, everyone gets raised dead. Duration permanent. I think we were using a different word for that as well. I'm just going to double check. I think it was... range we were using unlimited. Okay, duration I think we might also be using unlimited. Yeah, I think unlimited is a better word. Cool. Business points. Coruscating, good word. I probably think that every time I read the first sentence of this spell. Two end rounds or end rounds? What do you mean by that? When the caster extinguishes the candle, a ray of shadowy energy leaps from the necromancer's hand towards a single living target who must make a saving throw versus chaos. If the save fails, the victim is afflicted by racking pain for 2 end rounds. The pain causes a -3 penalty to saving throws and to attack rolls, and causes the target to take 1 point of damage each round they are effective. If the save is successful, the duration of this effect is halved, and the target does not suffer damage from the pain. Okay, so it's not necessary to say 2N or N. Just say 2N. Cool. I thought there might be like a choice involved there. Like you could do one effect for 2 N rounds, or instead a worse effect for N rounds. But no. Natural. A lot of components here. Cool. Yeah, this is a heal undead spell. I do love the image of the necromancer that this spell list like conjures by necessity with all the components. Like all necromancers just going around with a big bag of like creepy shit. It's perfect. That's part of why the components are there. It's good vibes. That's a creepy spell. Duration 2 to 3 rounds. Is this the same as the other one? Okay, yeah, it should just be 3 rounds. Cool. 61. Making good progress. More than a third way to the end of the Necromancer spell list from where we started. Yeah, I was just rereading the spell because like Resurrection, obviously a very strong effect, especially for OSR. So having the built-in miscast, I expected that there would be something like that. And then I really like it gets harder if you cast it multiple times on the same person. It's good. Another super long list of components. A rusted weapon of war. Warbear of a defeated army. I remember being proud of these components. Cool spell. Big army of skeletons. You always love to see that as a necromancer. More complicated components. At time of casting a soul, prep not consumed on cast. Skull, 75 SP, herb filter, eyeball of undead creature. Okay. I think the way I have it is fine. Huh. Okay, cool. Then you can only see it through it for 5 minutes at a time. That's fucked up. Not a super long duration, but I guess only cast a soul outside of prep. Thinking, as always, if that should be 0.5 end turns instead of 5 end minutes, but probably. I think you should use minutes only when it can't be easily turns instead. Like if it's like 3 end minutes. But I think for 5 end minutes, 0.5 end turns is just as readable. Not a lot to say about slow. Exactly what you think it does. Good evil spell to have, though. And finally, we have a spell that is channeled or concentration. I think that's concentration, but I will check as always to make sure I'm not messing up. Channeled. I'm just going to scroll to the top and double check. Yep, the first one's channeled. Second one's concentration. Cool, cool. I'm just going to change this to by channeling to make it not using the wrong terminology. It's kind of like a version of Mage Hand, so you can cast touch spells from it. And hit things with it, so that's cool. Okay, cool, and we're past 65, so almost there. Oh, music, continue. A vial of iron. What does that mean? Do I mean iron filings? Probably. I don't know how else you would get a vial of iron. Probably better just to be clear. Do you guys have any good one-shot recommendations? anyone's out there listening. I might have a chance to run or play a one-shot soon with some people, and I've got some ideas for what I or we could run, but I'm like hearing suggestions. Obviously, I could run this. Oh god, summon. What did I do for summon last time? Oh god, I just typed an S. It's gonna take like a minute. Okay. Summon. Less than you would think in this document. For the document mostly being like 3 spell lists. Yeah. I'm just gonna copy this. Just wanted to make sure that I filled it out last time. Okay, I can just scroll this way. Yeah, so anyway, what I was saying, I could run this, which I would be happy to, and it's very fun, obviously. I could run another RPG that I wrote, which is probably better than this. I might do that. There's also plenty of great one-shot systems out there to run. Big fan of 10 Candles. Played that in person. And it's a very cool system. You probably have heard of it, maybe. Involves burning things and being spooky. I've talked to the guy who wrote that, actually, at a convention. And he was very cool. He makes other cool games, too. I don't think I got any of those books. I kind of wish I had. I'll have to check. I think I got like a module that they were selling. I don't know if I got any of the systems. Anyway, open to suggestions for one-shots and one-shot systems. I love trying new systems. God damn. I am the same person as I was when I wrote the spell list like a million years ago. I read Summon Undead and I was like, oh, that's like a wacky version of Raise Dead, isn't it? And then I see that it is one of the only fun wacky categorized spells. Didn't never change the category of this. Ooh, I've been not doing a great job of changing the categories of these. I will double check all of these before I move on to the cleric spell list, so don't worry. 72. Almost at 75. And then there will only be 15 left. Natural. God damn it, are these the same? Should these be the same? The components? I think so. I think that's intentional. They are kind of similar. I don't even know if we need both of these spells. Like, imagine getting both of these on your character. The difference is basically just that. In the second one, you become the swarm. Swarm concentration. Wrong word. Good try. Instead of just summoning it. I don't know. Something to consider. I can feel my mental energy leaving. This is what tables do to you. I'm gonna get to 75 and then I'm gonna take a quick break. Oh, it's already been like an hour. Let's go. Soul, bell, a key, stolen burial shroud. You can tell how strong a spell is by how fucked up its components are. Intentionally. Permanent until triggered. Is that the language I'm going with for symbol? For that kind of duration? I don't remember. I thought I changed it. I love to have the symbol, word symbol, like 15 times on the spell symbol. Very cool. No, duration unlimited is what I said. Cool. Glad to have already made some of these decisions so I can just go back and reference them. Oh, the text got bigger here again. Don't do that. Cursed Google Doc. Oh, n squared again. That's cool. Cool of me to put that in again. People love to do exponents in their RPGs, I think. I hope so. That's like a design principle that I have, you know? Instant. Cool. At 75. Having started from 45, that's pretty good. That's 30. About. Only 15 more. Oh, it do be a struggle. At least we'll get to do the thing where we delete these left columns soon, and then we'll be able to see the table be pretty. That'll be nice. How y'all doing? Anyone got any questions? Want to talk about RPGs? Alright. 15 more. Keep going. Undead Unseen Servant. Silly name. What makes this version of Unseen Servant belong on the Necromancer spell list? Well, you see, this ghost is undead. Oh. I don't remember what the class ring is for, and now I'm curious, so I'm going to read the spell. Range 0 feet. What do I mean by that? Probably touch. The spell summons an undead unseen servant. An undead unseen servant. Why is it not capitalized there, and then capitalized there? is an invisible, mindless, shapeless, and undead force that performs simple tasks at the Necromancer's command. It can fetch things, open and unlock doors, clean and mend, and most other actions that can perform with the character's hands. This is going to be just the same as Unseen Servant. They can lift 5 M-pounds or drag 10 M-pounds. The servant cannot attack in any way and cannot be killed. It dissipates when the spell's duration ends. Unlike most other components, the glass ring is not consumed when the spell is cast. If the Necromancer can look through the glass ring, they can see through their servant's eyes. Through their servant's eyes. Though it seems pretty clear that this servant doesn't, like, have a body. I don't know if that's a necessary clarification, but I can see people complaining about my use of eyes there, so there you go. That's for you. Yeah, range can just be touch. How far can it move in a round? Probably 40 feet, right? Should probably say that in the spell. Does Unseen Servant need these clarifications too? Topical song. No, because normal Unseen Servant doesn't have the glass ring thing. I will add cool. We're good. Unhallow is a funny spell. It's just funny that clerics and necromancers have just like opposite versions of this spell. You could just imagine them undoing each other's spells. It's just funny. Fuck you, Unhallow's your church. And I did add the duration increase thing, which is just cool. It makes the spell, like, actually useful. No offense. Oh, we're on the U's. Crazy that we're on the U's and that there are still 10 more spells to go. Though we are on the Necromancer spell list, so presumably there will be a lot of zombies. I don't remember. There's probably less than I'm expecting. I was just thinking about like capitalizing things in the component list, but I don't think they need to be capitalized after the first one. Okay, Cool. I just realized I was inconsistent with that here. God, consistency is so important. Cloning. Soul. Bark of a tree. To cast the spell, you must go outside. Ooh. Necromancer's shaking. Valor in death. But the British spelling of valor. It should probably just be valor. I probably shouldn't stick with any British English spellings. It's probably bad. I do like when the components are sort of intentionally kind of vague. I think that makes for, like, fun. It doesn't happen too often. But, like, Heart of a Warrior, like, you could definitely argue stuff for that, which I think is good and fun. Vampiric Enslavement. Edgy spell. What do you mean, vial of caster's own blood, fresh, enchanted for consumption? Let's read this spell. I have questions. Okay. Enchanting a quantity of their own blood, the extraction of which causes a loss of 1 point of con for 24 hours, the necromancer creates a potion of enthrallment. If the enchanted blood is fed to an intelligent target, the target must save versus spirit, or come under the necromancer's charm for n days. If the target's hit die is greater than n, they will get a bonus to their save equal to the difference between their hit die and n. During this time, the charmed victim views the necromancer as a trusted friend, but also develops a craving for their blood, which increases as the spell's duration progresses. Once per day, when under the necromancer's thrall, this just sounds a lot like Charm Person. They will make their savers with the added vampire stuff. They may make their saver spirit again to wait for the effect. When the spell's duration ends, the necromancer must cast the spell again to provide more blood for the victim and renew the enchantment. If the spell's duration ends without being removed, the charm dissolves, but the lust to consume the necromancer's blood lasts for an additional n days. During this time, the victim is likely to attack the necromancer to satisfy the surge. Okay, yeah, I think this is a cool spell. Cool spell, definitely. Though I do have questions about the blood enchanting. Because first of all, fresh. That's fine. the description of fresh is fine in the component list. Should probably be clarified to be like less than a day old or something. The bigger question is, what do you mean by enchanted? What do you have to do to enchant their blood? Like, I think what I'm trying to say, I think the purpose of this is that, like, it needs to be pre-prepared. Like, there needs to be a ritual or something. Like, you can't just use the spell, like, in combat by splashing blood in someone's mouth, right? That's kind of the point, I think. Like, if you've just been cut. You can if you have, like, a vial of blood. So I think... I think we just added this line. This enchantment requires the necromancer to perform a ritual on the vial of blood which does not require any components. Necromancer. I think that clarifies the questions I was having. Enchanting the blood. Cool. That answers the question of how you do it. So you just need to prepare it. Okay, that's fine. Cool. Cool spell. We're so close to the end. What do we got? Just kidding, none of the spells start with zombie. Very cool. So true. Lattice work. Cool word. Should be hyphenated? No. Lattice work is so a word. Haha. Another long component list. This one's cool though. My ability to type is degrading. Six humanoid bones. A slab of stone inscribed with the caster's name, necromancer's name, and the name of the last person who either killed or reanimated. That's the hard part of this one. Why is the component for this spell so hard? It's a big wall. It doesn't fall over when you cast it. I don't know, just a big wall. Cool. Almost there. Oh, and the spell is channeling. Or channeled. This is a bad. This Withering Touch is a bad spell to use on someone. You can really fuck people up with this. Necromancer is scary. Unlimited. Lost my mouse for a second, I'm losing it. I can see the end, so close. Alright, almost there, keep it together. Zone of sinister stillness and zone of weakness. Last one, baby. Man. Constructing like these tables is some like big arduous task. It's so not. It does drain energy out of my brain though. Cool. So we got to 90 on the Necromancer spell list. That's good. So the next step is to delete these left columns, which is cool and good. Before we do that, two things. We need to do a quick check to make sure that everything is right. And we also need to extract all of the names of the spells on the list so that we can, so that we can get a nice list like this. So let's do all the names first. For that we just do this. Very elegant. I'm sure there's no better or more efficient way to make this selection. Oh, okay. Almost fucked that up. Then we do copy. And then we do... Okay, it's under links. That makes sense. Then we do paste without formatting. Oh, right, we changed the name of this to be not British. And then we do number list. And then, do I remember how to make it multiple columns? Off the top of my head. I think format columns. I do remember. Hell yeah. There it is. It's not great because like the cutoff, but it's fine. Oh wait, actually that's... Sorry, that fucked my head because it goes like 1, 2, 3, and then it goes like down the list like you would expect. So let's just do that. Alright, cool. Oh, I was like, why is that green? Because I still have unseen server in my search thing. Okay, cool. That's good. We've got the list. Okay, and now we just need to double check. Kind of want to go from the bottom up for no real reason. I don't know. Okay, so we're just gonna be checking, and I'm sure I'll catch some mistake I made. If you see anything, feel free to shout it out. Like we're doing a Dora thing, you know? Oh. Music stopped. Sometimes I start playing music like that when I'm like working or something, and then it stops and I just don't notice for like the rest of the time that I'm working. And then I finish and I'm like, oh, right, the music. Just barely notice. But I'm keeping it going for your sake. No mistakes yet. Crazy. Oh yeah, I need to be checking, just double checking for the concentration channel, because that's always something that I miss. So I'm just, yeah, it's all correct so far. Where was I? I think I was here. Yeah, because I saw it in undead attraction, and that reminded me. Soul Bell Key, a stone burial shroud. Looks good. This doesn't need to be capitalized. Not really a mistake. Let's look back on all the fond editing we've done this stream. Aha! A mistake! Worth. Also, this doesn't need to be capitalized. Oh right, this has weird components. I feel like adding a period there makes it clear that that's like more clear that that's the end of the list. Though it's a little tricky to communicate. I think it describes it in the spell pretty well. It is a little confusing here if you're just like reading it for the first time. But hopefully that's fine. Anyway. Looks good. Looks good. It's the ray of enfeeblement. I read that and I was like, shouldn't it be enfeeblement? Yes, it should be enfeeblement. Silly. Looks good. Doesn't need to be capitalized. Doesn't need to be capitalized. Otherwise, looks good. Into a no. That's a mistake. Caps, 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 not necessary. Component soul hourglass humanoid. Missing a whole word here. Unfortunate. Focusing. These spells where I focus too much on one part of the spell description, I just neglect the other parts. It's classic. I think all of the channeled and concentrations have been right so far. Just quickly scrolling through. There's a big drought of them. I think they were alright though. And this is the first one I did this stream. No, Knocked and Locked was the first one I did this stream. Incorrect. Cool. Now we get into last stream. Deleted caps. I don't remember if I double checked these ones. I don't think I did. No, yeah, see, this is me making the 5 minutes, 25 end turns decision. What the fuck happened here with the shading? Just gonna ignore that. I'm gonna redo the alternate coloring thing later. Anyway. Bone, enough to make a knife. Cool component. Yeah, that's a little inconsistent with 0.5 N rounds versus N over 2 rounds. I'm gonna have to think about that a little more. Slash ask what people think. Because I can't trust myself for that kind of thing all the time. Three teeth again? Surely you can tell when I run out of ideas. It's hard. Coming up with components is so hard. Yeah, I remember doing these. Spectres. Fine. Yeah, like this one, this makes more sense to keep as minutes versus turns. Almost done double checking. I'm just focused on this so I'm sure I can feel confident in deleting all of these columns and we haven't messed up. The and doesn't really necessarily there, is it? channeled, yep. Gold chain, silver chain, iron chain. I think I used Candlestone from Holy Place at least twice. Legitimate instrument is so funny. Yeah, and Stolen Burial Shroud. Looks good. Almost done. This should be concentration. There's a mistake. Ooh, almost done. 10 left. Yep, looks good. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll come back to that. Cool. Okay, cool. I feel pretty good about that. I think that, yeah, that looks good. We fixed any of the mistakes that were in there. Hopefully. Alright, so now comes the big dramatic fun part. Oh. Alright, everyone ready? Get excited. Alright. And then we wait for a minute while the Google Doc figures out its life. Perfect. Cool. Yeah, we were doing it as wide as the page. Nice. Don't love this big blank space here, but cool. Nice. Necromancer spells, done. Alright. And now all we have left is cleric spells, of which there are 60. Oh god, somehow I am now doubting my ability to get through them. I feel like it went slower this time than it did the previous times. Because it's taken like about an hour and a half to get through like the 45 necro spells, then plus like the other double checking. So, alright, we'll see. We'll see if we've got it in me. I think now is probably a good time for me to take a short break to regain some energy. Uh, I feel like I'm dying a little bit. But I do want to start on these at the very least. So, yeah, we're going to do that. And we'll see if we finish. So, with that in mind, yeah, thanks for watching. I will go away for a couple of minutes, but I will be right back. So, I will see you soon. Bye! Hey, what's up? I'm back. Dies again. Cool. I got up, I walked around, had a protein bar, feeling more alive now, so that's good. Um, okay, so we were gonna do the cleric spells. Yeah, no promises that I get through the whole list of these. I think if I don't, I don't really have like, I don't have like a time limit, but if I feel dead, I'll probably stop. Um, and and if I don't get to it, I think I'll probably just do the rest off stream because I probably won't have a lot left, and that way I can move on to something that's not this on my next TTRPG stream, and that would be very cool. Um, but I do want to make some progress. So before we get into cleric spells, I think I want to describe a little bit as to how what the cleric spell list looks like. Because I think it's really cool. And I think I've said this before, but what I like the most about this system is the magic systems, in it. And it's really cool because not only do so there's like a bunch of magic classes, right? You can see them like on the side here. So like, sorry, my head froze. There's a different spell list. The magic user spell list, which is like the traditional sort of spell list where you randomly get spells from. There's the necromancer spell list, which the difference is that the necromancer spells have components. That's what the necromancers are like, component casters. Cleric spells work differently from both of those. Clerics are actually way different from magic users and necromancers because with like the magic user spell list, the point is that I wonder if the identities are here. No, they're not. Here, yeah. The point is that like there's a lot of stuff in it, right? A lot of utility spells, and it's kind of, you can find anything that you're looking for in the list. And the thing is that you don't get to choose what you get, so it's kind of just like a fun thing. You work with what you have. Necromancer spell list, you also don't choose what you get, and it's more like spooky evil necromancer focused. I did turn off the music briefly for this. I could turn it back on, I guess. Okay, anyway. Clerics, though, the spell lists are a lot more structured because the way that it works is that all clerics get a lot of spells too, which is how it works in a lot of systems, right? But the way it works is that all clerics get all of the spells from this base list of spells, of which there are currently 5. There were 6, but we took out Cure Wounds. So Bless, Cosmins, Divine Intervention, Turn Undead, and Sanctuary all the clerics get. And then what's cool is that when you're making a cleric, you choose like a specialization, basically, or like a school, which is like, it's supposed to like narratively match like the god that you're following. It doesn't have to, right? You can like pick any of the schools, but it's there for people who want to like roleplay clerics, and also to like allow the cleric class to do different things. So like you get the base spells, and then you can pick like basically 2 spells from your class spell list. They're kind of like subclasses. So yeah, there's like a divination one, with a focus on like seeing the truth and seeing the future. There's a healing one, which is pretty self-explanatory. Purification one, so a lot of focus on like fire and like retribution. No, not retribution, because that's the next one. A lot of focus on like fire and purifying. Retribution is like the angry cleric, wrath of God sort of thing. Biblical plagues is most of the spell list. And then you can also take spells from the shared list for any class can do this, which just like these are just like random spells that you can take if you feel like you need them, that don't like fit in the. They probably could fit in some of the schools, but they're just available to everyone. So it works very differently, and the key component is that you can choose what spells you get as a cleric, and you can't as any other magic class. So that makes them pretty good. And then in case you were curious about how the healing works, because I mentioned we took Cure Wounds out, we refactored it recently so that I'll just go to Cleric and read it. They've got a pool of lay on hands points, all clerics do, which they can use to heal, and it's basically just magical healing that doesn't cost spell slots. And I'd seen people do this before, and I didn't really like it, but then I was playing clerics for a while in this system, and eventually, like, what I realized was that I didn't like playing as a cleric. I felt like healing was like my best spell, and I felt like I had to be using like all of my spell slots to heal, or it wouldn't, like, it would be suboptimal. Or if there was an opportunity for me to cast a non-healing spell, I would be like, well, I could, but maybe I will need to heal someone later, so I should probably save that spell slot. And I think that's actually really unhealthy for clerics, because, I mean, healing is an important part of the cleric class identity in the system. I went to totally the wrong place. But they also have cool things they can do, and when you're a cleric, especially like with the subclasses, like I was playing a divination cleric, and you want to use these things. You want to be able to cast augury and whatever, true seeing, but like if you're like holding all your spell slots for healing, you just can't. So that's why we did that. Anyway, so actually, what do we need for cleric spells? Thanks for listening to my rant about how that works. So they don't have. These are also like, yeah, they have different info than these other spells that we've been doing. They don't really have a school that they need. You need the info from, like natural or ethereal or whatever. Channel concentration you still need. Components you don't need. Duration and range you obviously still need. I wonder, category we haven't been listing. Specialization. I wonder if it's necessary to include this. It doesn't really matter. This should, I think, be divination instead of divine. Because it doesn't really matter to the spell. It's already split up into lists. And these only matter when you're picking spells, so I actually don't think you need any of this information. So I think it's just concentration or channeled, duration, and range is all we should need. Which is like nothing. So that's cool. So maybe these will go a little faster. Right, that was another reason the necromancer spells went slower, is because we had to do all the components. Cool. Alright. I'm still feeling a little tiny bit dead, but yeah, we're gonna do our best to get through at least a couple of blocks of these. If anyone has any encouraging words, interesting thoughts, you know, I'm open. What do I mean by duration variable for this? I don't think the duration is really variable on this spell. I think the duration is instant. Turn Undead is just such a spell. So many words. Got a whole sub-table. Okay, duration variable. Is that true? I think it's actually unlimited. I was just reading it. I probably should have read that out loud. But it's like the duration is not limited by anything in this, like the spell, like time-wise. It's just limited by how long the cleric, like, it chooses to channel. They can do it for as long as they can stand there. Nice. Oh god, it's so nice when you have like 3 less things to check on the last spell list. This rocks, actually. They're also like all instant touch. Which is cool. I think that's good for a cleric. Oh, these aren't numbered though, so I can't be like, we are on 10. That's fine. They are broken up a lot by having all these sublists. There are like 50 of them still. This does feel like we're making progress fast. Sometimes it is nice not to be able to see the numbers, so that you just don't know. Healing circle. So I misclick because I was thinking about a one shot I could run. I have writ. God, I don't even know if I might have mentioned this on the stream before. If I have, I apologize. There is a one shot that I have written as like an intro adventure. Like an intro to OSR. It's very silly. Because I swear, I feel like I've told this anecdote before on the stream. Maybe I haven't. But when I was first running OSR games, the modules I was running had like a really high fatality rate. So I think players were still getting used to OSR and what you need to do, and that doesn't come easily to everyone. And I kind of ran out of like level 1 modules to run, and I really didn't want to. I wanted to run like the higher level modules because like those are the cool ones. Like really, I wanted to run like Death Frost Doom, Veins of the Earth stuff. That was always my dream. But I could never get people there because they would always die on the stupid level 1 modules. Which is like fine, whatever. But anyway, so I wrote a module for players who are not good at OSR games, or not used to OSR games, or new to OSR games. It's probably the better phrasing. I could run that for my friends. That would be funny. Though Bat is kind of low fatality. Well, it's not low fatality. It is OSR. I would say. I know people are like arguing about definitions. But it's definitely inspired by OSR and it's based on OSR stuff. So I would call it OSR. And it's supposed to be high fatality, but it is definitely lower fatality than some other systems because we have some pretty generous dying rules. So what I was getting with that is that it might be too easy. Maybe I can make it a little bit harder. But that's kind of a trap because frequently it can be hard to judge whether things are too easy or too hard for players because it depends how they approach it. The difficulty can vary dramatically. And also, like, obviously luck is a big factor if there's combat involved. I've seen a group of 4 players get absolutely bodied by, like, a one-hit die creature. Just, like, one-hit die, 1d6 attack. Just absolutely bodied by, that. And I've also seen a group of 4, like, low-level players body like a 5-hit die monster while in the dark, and they were getting like -6 to all their rolls, just because of luck. So it's hard to say. Anyway, I could run that. That would be fun. But I should probably make it a little harder. I should revisit that. I'll revisit that. Maybe not on stream, because the players might see. I don't know. What am I doing? Forbiddens? I'm not paying super close attention to these spells. I think they're alright so far, though. Oh, except for this one where I did duration arrange backwards. Good try. Hallowed ground. Yeah, this is the spell that Unhallow is for. We've got a really fucking weird heat metal in this system. I will not elaborate unless someone asks me about it, because I don't want to read all that. Is this just fairy fire? Yes, this is just fairy fire. Cool. That's fine. Again, I feel like we're kind of zooming through this. A lot faster than the Necromancer spell list. Admittedly, I think like a big chunk of the spells in this list are in the shared list, but still. We're almost there already. NDN turns, huh? Oh, NDN plus 1 turns. I'm just gonna reread this, because NDN plus 1 turns is wacky. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be really variable. It's kind of the point. 10d10 turns. That's kind of a lot. That's like 56 turns on average duration, which is like there's 6 turns in an hour. I could do it. It's like 9 hours. That's kind of crazy. It's probably fine though. So it still takes a while for the spell to Not really at high levels, but it takes a while for it to cast and manifest. And I don't know. I think it's fine. I'm wondering if NDN. I'm wondering if this should be less. Like maybe ND4 or something. That's probably safer. That makes it like less exponential. Oh, we're gonna do that. ND6. That's still pretty long at like N is 10. Because that's like 32-ish turns. Which is like 5 hours. ND4. Okay, anyway. Earthquake, cool spell. Insect Plague. Kind of similar to the Vermin Swarm stuff that we were just looking at for Necromancer. Big difference, I think, being that this one doesn't do damage. There's some differences. Just kind of interestingly similar. Oh, Sticks to Snakes. Best spell in the fucking spell list. This spell is in, it's in, like, OSE. I hadn't seen it before I read that spell list. Obviously it makes sense of, like, a biblical cleric spell list, because that's, you know, it's in there. But I was shocked, genuinely shocked, that this spell did not make it to, like, later editions of D&D. Because what? That's so cool. So I had to have it in my spell list. Okay, we just have the shared list, which is pretty long, but not really that long. It's like, what, 24-ish spells? Curse of Fortune is one of my favorite spells on the cleric spell list. Really, really cool spell. No. The mix was so cool. It was making me look so cool playing all the hyperpop songs. But now we have Hurricane from Death Note the Musical. We've gotten far enough in. This song slaps. No regrets at all. It is such a vibe change, though. That's lovely. I love that. Completely distracted me from the tangent I was going to go on about Curse of Ill Fortune, but that's fine. Shout out to Wisteria for introducing me to this song. I can't even talk about things. I was gonna say, should this really be duration variable, or do we want it to be duration unlimited? I think it should be duration unlimited. Because it doesn't, like, run out. Just wrote Curse of Malaise again. Malaise? I'm pretty sure it's Malaise. I just said it wrong. Anyway, if you're a cleric, take Curse of Ill Fortune. Cool spell. Ten rounds. 10 rounds. Can we just say a minute? What do we think? 1 minute or 10 rounds? What's more readable? I feel like a minute. Ooh, we are only on D in the shared list. That's okay. We are already on D in the shared list. Okay. Back to what the rest of the playlist was. Just looking. Yeah, I feel like it jumps. Yeah, we jump from H to M and then from... Yeah. Anyway, I should just do it. I shouldn't look at it. I think we're gonna make it. I think we're gonna make it to the end of this spell list. Which I really didn't think we were gonna do. Okay. 5 times turn spent days. Can I word this better? No. The cleric can spend up to N max 6 day turns casting the spell. Yeah, that's fine. Vetsmint. Alright, n+1 rounds. Pro Evil. Yeah, these... Whenever I get to these spells, I think about alignment. Because, like, I think most systems realize alignment is, like, not really a good thing to have. And try to phase it out. And, like, in this system, alignment isn't really a thing. It is kind of a thing, but only in the sense that, like, chaotic things are magical, and, like, angelic things are good. Angelic or clerical things are lawful. But it really only functions in the context of, like, a couple of spells like this. And also, like, to fit into modules where, like, it makes reference to, like, chaotic or lawful creatures. But it would probably be better just to take out the references entirely. But I do like those spells. They would just have to be reworded pretty significantly. So many of these are instant touch. Damn, there's like 5 left. That's so crazy. I don't know exactly how long that took, but it wasn't long. So true. Wow. That's it, huh? Crazy. I don't even feel like dead. That's wild. Okay. Cool. So, as usual, the things we have left to do are... Oh, I have to decide how I want to number these. Because, like, should I have a numbered list like this for each of these tables? Like, base is 1 through 6, then divination is like 1 through 8 or whatever. Probably. I don't... Well, yeah, because the reason that we have the numbered list for the other spell list is so that you can roll randomly, right, and then know what spell you got. But you never need to roll randomly on the cleric spell list, unless you're like a DM determining the content of a scroll or potion or whatever. So yeah, I think it makes more sense to do lists per table. And that makes it easier for me too, just a little bit. Because you just have to do... Oh, that should be paste without formatting. Though making it a triple column a triple column list for 5 items does seem a little tiny bit unnecessary, but it's fine. It's all about consistency. Yeah. Oh, don't do what you're doing. Stop, stop, stop. I think there's only... Are there 7 per school? I wrote it so that there would... Fuck. Each school would have the same number of spells. Was that number 7? God, what a bad number. Why did I do that? Oh, I'm misclicking all over the place. He's barely holding it together. It's fine, it's fine. Oh. I gotta be more careful when I reach the end of these tables. That's good. Don't fuck it up. Cool. That looks good, actually, because those things are multi-line. Careful. Nice. Yeah, that looks fine. Oh. Cool. Yeah, we just did purification, retribution, and then it just shared. Four, 5, 6, 7. Cool. And then it's just the shared list. Ooh, okay. Pretty, very good. Nice. Okay, cool. So we've done that. So now we should double check, and then we should remove columns. So let's do this one table at a time. I think it should be pretty straightforward, because there isn't a lot to check. And there really weren't very many channeled or concentration spells in these lists. Looks good so far. Looks good so far. Oh. Cool. Yeah, everything else looks good. So delete. And there you go. Cool. Now we just do that for every other table. Though each of these tables are only going to have like 7 or fewer entries, so. Okay, there's a concentration one. Right, I edited that. That's concentration as well. Cool. I'll have to change the header at some point. I should check what I did for the other spell lists. If anything, I just remove the header. Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. I'll do that later. Or, I guess I could just do it whenever. I should do it now. Cool. Let's check purification. Looks fine. Having shortlist to check is so nice. Wow. Instead of like 90 item lists. Ugh. Also doesn't make the document chug for like a minute, which is cool. Cool. Looks good. Yep. Yep. That's concentration. Yep. We're getting the Call of Duty zombie songs in here now? Sheesh. Love me some Call of Duty Zombies. Oh, yep, the playlist is unraveling. We'll see if there's anything else weird coming up. Oh, another zombie song. We're not gonna get there, that's too far off. That was like 30 minutes away. Okay. Anyway, um, almost there. I'm reading this because I see duration variable and I see duration instant. I don't. The duration might actually be variable. Maybe not. I don't know. It's probably just a copy paste error, I think. Like, that I didn't change it to variable, because I don't remember thinking about it, but I also am not sure if it should be variable. Because I don't. How long does it take to ask the questions? Like, it can be instantaneous. That's fine. Hmm. Hmm. I'm gonna say variable. Because it should take time to, like, ask the questions, I think. But, yeah, it kind of depends. That's fine. Anyway. Okay. Everything else looks good. Which means we can remove these. That. And that. Cool, and now it's just the base list, which is only 5 spells. Yep, that's channeled. Yep, that is duration instant, definitely. Touch, instant touch, bless, cause wounds, yep. Looks good. So much table deletion going on. Shit. That's kind of it, isn't it? That's all the tables. Wow. Holy shit. We did it. Oh. Okay. So, first of all, incredible. Congratulations to me. Thanks to everyone who helped me through this journey of editing. Like, oh, not that. I don't know. I'm so dramatic about this. That's fine. Yeah, glad we made it through that. That's good. Um, I think there's still a couple of things that I wanted to try with this because, yeah, I need to make sure the alternate colors are right. I know it's wrong on some of the lists, like this one notably. I'm pretty sure it's wrong. Yeah. But that should take like 5 seconds. I don't need to do it on stream. Um, I am curious if I can make this dual column easily. Because, yeah, like I said before, I'm not totally happy with how it looks like this. Sort of block of texty. So these small tables are like are good to like experiment on. So oh, okay. No, we can't. The columns option is grayed out. Very cool. Um, Sort table. Spooky. Um, I don't know what some of these options do. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Um, on my other screen. Make table multi-column Google Doc. Hmm. If I just select the text, nope, I can't do it there either. Hmm. What are these options that are popping up? Oh. This is just gonna, oh. Oh, actually, that's good, because it wasn't alphabetical before. That is correctly alphabetical. Huh. Oh, I need to change this too. Yeah, it did exactly what I thought. That's cool. Sanctuary. I could add another column, but I don't know if that'll help. I can fuck around. Like, what does distribute columns do? I think it just makes it so that the columns are like evenly spaced. Hmm. I don't think it's that. More actions. Suggest edits. What does this do? Ooh. That's cool. Not what I want, but it's cool. Okay. Yeah, I was wondering if I could like specify like a number of columns or something, like as a maximum. Hmm. Okay. I don't see an easy way to do it. Let me keep checking for a couple seconds. Hmm. Table. No. Okay. Alright, I'll probably look more into this question off stream. Probably me silently Googling is not very interesting. Barely RPG stuff. But yeah, I'm thinking about it now. Because yeah, this is better. I think this is a lot more readable than it was, which is the point. But yeah, it is definitely with like the full, with the table being the full page, which it doesn't need to be. It is very like wall of texty, which is not great. And it would be nice if I could make it so that it's like dual columned. Yeah, I just think that would look better. I want to at least try it. But yeah, we'll see if there's a convenient way to do that, or if it would involve a lot of struggle. But that's a question I can try and figure out off stream. So, cool. I think that about wraps up what I want to do today. Pause the music. So, thanks a lot for anyone who watched. I appreciate it. I don't know if I would say it was fun. That Necromancer spell list had me fucking struggling. But the Cleric spell list picked me back up. Which I guess is pretty on brand for the themes of this spell list, so that's good. No, it was good. I'm glad I got the work done. And now I can do RPG streams that aren't about table formatting and are about more exciting things about RPGs, TTRPGs. So that's cool. So let's look ahead and get excited, because the next thing that we're going to do is magic items research, which is a lot more interesting and will actually involve like game design, and things like that. So that's cool. We're looking forward to that. But it was definitely a good step to do this table thing, and I will look into the multi-column thing. I'll make the coloring correct, and then we will check it off of the to-do list. But that'll be off stream. So as for streams coming up this week, let me look at my calendar. But I think the summary is going to be probably not any streams next week. I know that's disappointing to hear. I'm kind of disappointed too, but I just am busy and have stuff going on. If there was a stream this coming week, it would be tomorrow. Is like the only possible day, but I don't know about that. Maybe. But yeah. Otherwise, I will not be able to stream until like next week. Like next Tuesday ish and later. So yeah. Anyway, but I am looking forward to get streaming more RPG stuff, and I am very much looking forward to streaming more Control, because that's been a ton of fun. And I have more games that I want to stream also that are just lurking in my head, waiting for me to get through the Alan Wake verse. So who knows, maybe I will try adding another stream day at some point so I can get through more stuff, because streaming is really a great excuse for me to play single player games, which I am not always very good at, because, you know, having friends, you know, they really drag you down, always making you play games with them. Shake my head. Just trying to bait them into chatting if they're watching. Anyway, yeah, so that's about it, really. Thanks for watching. I will see you probably not for over a week, but thanks a lot for watching, and have a great night. Bye!